Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for my Virgo friends? What energies, messages, insights for late June? We are in Cancer season. Beautiful time of year, if I do say so myself. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo, late June. Talk to me. Let's get this card going. What's happening for my friends, please? Energies, messages, insights, all that good stuff. All right. And for those of you new here, I only read jumpers and being very particular for you here this week. Usually the first card pops out like boom, real quick for Virgo. But there we go. Thank you very much. Okay. Now this card to me is, like most of them, a bit of a double-edged sword. But there's a lot of positivity here. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of beauty connected and attached to this as well. There's a couple little warnings, all right, especially about a possible particular individual, depending. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's have a little talk about this card. I always like when it shows up because it's a little bit of a twist. We see this woman in that big blue dress. She's in the room. She's looking in a mirror. She's surrounded by mirrors here. So first and foremost, I always think of aesthetics. I think of how one presents themselves to the world. This is usually a very confident type of energy, similar to the Queen of Wands in that way. So for some Virgos, maybe you're changing something about your look. Maybe you're changing your hair or doing something with your wardrobe. There's something about how you present yourself to people on the outside when this card shows up, and it could be very good. Again, this could be confidence. So for a lot of you, you might be feeling a big burst of confidence and vitality in this time. That would be really nice. For some of you, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe there's something that you're really not too confident about here. But where the warning comes in when I see this card is ego. I'm not calling you egoic or anything like that, but notice this person's kind of obsessed with themselves. So if there's a person in your circle that is like, they feel like, I mean, they act like they could walk on water, they're God's gift to everybody, and just extremely egoic, like they could do no wrong. These are the type of people that you want to keep at an arm's length in this time when this card shows up. So we're just going to put her down right there. I mean, we could talk about it some more, but we want to get into tarot. And I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my lovely Virgo friends. My guides, talk to me. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So yeah, the last few weeks, actually, there's been some bumpy, mixed bag type of readings going on. And last week's reading was titled A Serious Talk. So for a lot of you, there might be a conversation or talk that something needed to be addressed or something should. And just know that this energy could still bleed over for the coming days and weeks. So it's whether it's a talk you've had or one that needs to be had, it was showing up pretty strong in the energy. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going, though. 3 cards here for my Virgos, please, to start us off. What's happening? Thank you. All right. Knight of Pentacles, that could be a very good card for you in particular. Now, for some signs, I always say, yeah, this Knight of Pentacles could go either way. It could be either like really good and prosperous, but at the same time, it could be a little frustrating at times. Let's get a couple more. I mean, all knights are about action. Okay, there we go. We have the beautiful matron herself. We have the high priestess chilling right here in the center of the spread. So far, I'm liking the elemental mix that we got going on. Let's get one more. What do we got here for Virgo, late June, please? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, Knight of Cups. Cool. So I feel like there could be something improving in a really nice way at first glance. Now, I don't want to dive too deep into it yet because you know how energies could shift and change. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So we have some themes starting to show up here this week, Virgo. At first look, first glance, elementally, I like the mixture we have going on because we have the double down of this water energy on the back. We have earth. I always say when you mix earth and water, there's a great potential there for blessings and abundance. So this could be a really nice energy coming through for a lot of you. We also have the double knights bookending this. We have the high priestess in the center where it's like, okay, we're starting slow, an event, and then boom, something's moving forward in a much better way. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Because again, we have some themes, but I feel like we might have a couple of twists, especially with a mystery card right dead center. So position number one, we have the Knight of Pentacles, of course, earth sign energy. So in my simplistic style, this could just represent you. So when we clarify it, it could tell us something coming towards you, what you might be feeling. All knights are messengers, so they could represent communication, similar to what we saw last week, but they also represent action, like how someone's moving. Are they moving in a good way? Or are they moving too fast? Or are they moving too slow? The Knight of Pentacles is extremely meticulous, very detailed in its energy. Like notice he is inspecting that pentacle right there. So there might be something you're taking your time with, or there might be something I'm taking it slow here for whatever reason. And that's not a bad thing. But again, earth energy to other signs could sometimes be a little frustrating. It's like, oh, I wish something would move forward. That's a vibe. Because remember, every card has a positive and a challenge. And the challenge with the Knight of Pentacles, it's not really doing much at the moment. So we'll see what it has to say. I feel like that could be one of the cornerstones of this reading for sure. Now, as we move towards the center, we get a little bit of a twist. We have the beautiful, lovely High Priestess energy. And I always say she's Pisces energy, might be connected to Pisces, but I also give her to all the water signs. I feel all the water signs encapsulate this High Priestess. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We are in Cancer season at the moment, but she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers. There might be something you're feeling intuitively, like, oh, something's coming, something big's coming down the pipeline, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Your intuition could be telling you something. If you're going through certain situations, you might be letting your gut guide you. Maybe you're suppressing that. It all really depends. Now, I love the High Priestess. To me, it's a very subtle energy. She could represent knowledge. So for a lot of you, might be learning new things or absorbing knowledge, extremely spiritual as well. So you might be extra spiritual in this time. But a big thing with her, she has her lips zipped. She's not talking. She's a very mysterious type of energy. So when I see like the Knight of Pentacles moving into a mystery, then out comes the Knight of Cups. It's like, all right, something's shifting here. Something's changing, and we'll see. But yeah, with the High Priestess, it could just represent something that's shrouded a little bit, something unexpected or surprising. And we'll look into her much deeper. She, again, could also be a cornerstone of this reading. Now, on to the back end, we have what could possibly be the final result of something. It's the Knight of Cups. Absolutely beautiful, smooth type of energy. Now, it's not as slow moving as the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups is just silky smooth. Now, if this is a person, whether it's a water sign or not, this is a smooth talking individual. Everything's just going as it should. It's very creative. It's extremely expressive. And with the double of this water energy, we could be looking at someone's emotions and feelings. Now, the Knight of Cups often shows up in romance readings, love readings, deep emotional connections. So we'll see what this represents. And again, it could be a message. It could be a communication or a talk. So that's the good aspect of them, because it's like it could be a very positive result with this Knight of Cups here on the back end. But in its roughest sense, the Knight of Cups could represent someone who's emotionally suppressing something. It could be someone that plays with emotions and feelings. So I really want to dive deeper on all this, Virgo. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here from my lovely Virgo friends, my God Spirit team. What's happening? What's happening in late June? I mean, I'm not feeling anything too treacherous, which is a good thing. But yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Knight of Pentacles. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Knight of Pentacles time. Talk to me. What is this Knight of Pentacles here? Thank you. Wow. Okay. So it's like ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. You got something really good coming your way. If there is something you are being patient about, whether it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take it slow, or I'm just being patient, if you're trusting the process with something, I feel like an extremely positive result here. Now, for a portion of you, there might be something where you're feeling content, or you're content to take it at a certain speed, or you're just content with something how it is. That could be a really nice thing. But the Nine of Cups, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. You see this person, they're welcoming, they're happy, they're chilling, they got all 9 cups, they're super cool with where they're at right now. So I feel for a bunch of Virgos, at least it could be monetarily, business related, work related, it could just be life in general. Some of you could be very content with something, but again, we're already getting a big win coming in for you. Notice water, earth still showing up here in a very powerful way. So I feel for a lot of you, this is an extremely victorious type of energy that's coming towards the Virgo collective. One of your cards right here in the beginning. So if you're not happy right now, like if you're going through certain situations and you're not happy and content, I would expect that to change in a very big way. Very good claimable energy. Now, this could go in a lot of different areas of life. Technically, if we're looking at the elements here, we are seeing monetarily, we're seeing emotionally, and relationships showing up here in a prominent way. But it could be other ways as well. I want to keep moving though, okay? Because this Knight of Pentacles, again, the main gist of it, I feel a lot of you have a big winner victory coming towards you, and it's moving in magnetically, or there's just something you're content with, or like slow and steady will win the race in one way or another. Trusting the process. Let's keep moving forward to that High Priestess. Very simple, straightforward, good energy so far. And even if we get a couple of rough ones coming up, which I don't think, I mean, we might, you never know. But so far, all of these cards have a really nice energy to it, totally different than what I've been feeling for you in recent weeks. So let's go in on the High Priestess. My sheet here. Thank you. Okay. Lady Justice in reverse, though, huh? Okay. So for a lot of you, there could be like an unexpected return or a surprising one, that's for sure. And I'll explain to you why. And I'm getting a couple different messages. When I see Lady Justice, you might be connected to a Libra, of course. But a big thing with her, she represents karma, or the karmic wheel of life. So when I see her in reverse, it kind of indicates the past. So just connecting the dots here with the mystery of the High Priestess. And you might feel it in the air, like, oh, something's going to come back around. Whether it is a person, whether it's a situation, that's up to you to decide. But there is this little mystery about it. And I do think you feel it. Like you feel it in your intuition, like I kind of know this is going to happen. I don't know exactly when, but I have a feeling something's going to reemerge. Now, does that mean it's a bad thing? Absolutely not. Another thing with Lady Justice, she represents contracts, she represents agreements and all those sorts of things, balance and fairness. So for a portion of you, there could be something that pops up in this time. I'm not going to call it a problem or a situation, because I have like this calm, content type of energy. Then there's something that kind of just like rocks the boat. Okay, so just know that there might be an action that you don't see coming, where someone acts a certain way and it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that one from you. But I do also feel this returning energy with Lady Justice in reverse intuitively. Very simple. Okay, now that's up to you if you want that energy to return or not. It's up to you. But let's keep moving over to the Knight of Cups. Maybe we'll get a little more energy about the result. But yeah, I get this vibe too, where it's like, all right, I'm happy, I'm cool, I'm content. Then boom, this happens. There's like action of something coming in that kind of rocks the boat. So let's see why that Knight of Cups is in the mix. Why is the Knight here? Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. Quick. Beautiful. Even better. So the vast majority of this spread, again, elementally, we have one card that could represent air. We have 2 cards that could represent you. We have beautiful mixtures of masculine, feminine energy here, and I'm just loving what I'm feeling. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Knight of Cups. This is something really, really good. There's a lot of blessings coming towards you. And I know I'm casting a big net here, but I will say, if we were to get it like strictly, for a lot of you, it could be in business with the Pentacles and relationships, connections with the water. Like those are the big ones I'm looking at here. So I've been seeing this with a couple other signs this week, where especially Libra, where it's like, okay, we got kind of wins across the board. So I feel for a lot of Virgos now could be a great time for improvement, whether it's specific situations you're going through, maybe it's even life in general. This Queen of Pentacles is very similar to the Empress to me. She is a goddess type of energy. Again, entrepreneurial, abundant, and she represents blessings. It's a very firm energy, and when we connect her with the Knight of Cups, this is just absolutely beautiful. And again, I feel like you got wins, you got blessings. Yeah, you might have a couple things that rock the boat here in the center, but is this going to really throw you off track? I think not. Okay, with that, I feel like this whole reading for the most part is extremely claimable. And if there was something that's recently happened, an event or whatever we want to call it, whatever this is in the center that's kind of thrown you off track a little bit, I feel a return to normalcy, or at least getting on the right track. Like, I don't feel it derailing you completely. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow cards. So far, I love the energy I'm picking up because there's a lot of good things here. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, and again, elementally, before we get into it, everything is earth and water except Lady Justice here in the center. But we have the Knight of Pentacles, a card that could represent you, with a card of wish fulfillment, the Nine of Cups underneath it. So I feel, again, a lot of you have this victorious win-based energy coming towards you. Now, I also felt a very content energy. So some of you might just be happy where you're at, content with where you're at, or just okay to take something slow. I also got the energy of trusting a process. Moving to the center, we have the High Priestess with Lady Justice in reverse. Two main messages here. There could be something that you've already lived through, or something from the past that returns unexpectedly or surprisingly here in the center, and that's okay. Sometimes we relive certain cycles, whether we want to or whether we don't. But another thing I was picking up is like, yeah, I'm happy, I'm cool, then something comes in, there's an action of some sort that like rocks the boat. Okay, moving to the back end, we have the Knight of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles, another card that could represent you in the upright. Combine that earth and water, there's overflowing blessings coming your way. So again, for a lot of you, whatever this is in the center, I don't feel it derailing you. I don't feel it throwing you off track. I feel an extremely abundant, blessing-filled type of energy. Wins across the board for a lot of the Virgo collective in this time. Now, does this mean every single Virgo in the world is going to have a life-changing moment? Absolutely not. Right? Everyone has different charts, different placements. You know how it goes. But I feel generally, if you have major Virgo placements in this time, the energy is just so supportive for you to really make progress in a lot of different ways. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that. Let's get into the shadow card real quick. Lovely reading, right up there. I mean, Libra had a really amazing reading this week, now you. So I feel like this is one of the better readings for sure in the Zodiac. So let's shuffle it up one time, see what we have for Virgo. And gods, talk to me. Really nice. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, shadow card time. What do we not see? Maybe give us a little more detail about what's in the center there with that High Priestess. Thank you. Okay. Queen of Wands. So another thing that I'm noticing here is half your spread there had a lot of people in it. Now even the shadow card has another person, the Queen of Wands. And I just want to bring you back to the very first card of this reading. Remember I said about her, about the confidence, the beauty, the sexiness of her, very similar and reminiscent to the Queen of Wands. So there's a reason that these two cards are bookending each other here, that it's the first energy we spoke about and the last. Now the Queen of Wands is all about self-confidence. So again, I do feel like a lot of you, there's a really strong internal strength that you have to you when I see her in the shadows, whether it's something you put on display or whether it's something you don't. There's like a nice stern strength that you might have to your energy, and you project out to the world, which is really good. Now is a great time to focus on anything aesthetic. Once again, we'll go with that message. But again, the Queen of Wands, beware of anybody in this time that is a little too egotistical, because it could really rub you the wrong way. That's one thing I will say. So Virgo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my digital calendar is open on mastermetaphysics.com, so go ahead and check that out. And if you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this weekend's readings. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers and visit anywhere in the world right now where would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.